So this is going to be part 6 of our complete application in ASP.NET with C# with SQLite. And today we are going to be talking about a web host extension and also creating seeders. This, of course, you need some time to get used to it, but I'm going to break it down to make it as simple as possible and have to give you all the code snippets and where to copy and paste into. And you do it a couple of times, you are just going to be used to it. I'd like to remind you to subscribe to my channel by hitting on the subscribe button below, and if you have challenges, please do let me know. Try to reach out to me in my social network profiles. If you want to go further to support me, please do buy me a coffee, as this used to be motivating for me. Now, what is a web host extension? A web host, first, is a class responsible for handling application startup and lifetime management. They include login, dependency injection, and configuration. So when your application is starting up, you want certain things to be done. For instance, we created the database tables by running a script called update database. What if you want these tables to be generated as startup when the application starts up? What it means is that if you have a script that defines your tables have changed. When the application runs at the startup, it's going to recreate these tables if you want it to run that script in the startup. So that's what we are going to be talking about today. So to create a web host extension, because what I want to do, instead of running update database manually, we want update database to run automatically when the application starts up. So, and that is called migration, as you know. So the first thing I want to do is to create a folder called extensions. So I'm going to go back to my application. I'm going to kind of shift this back here. I'm going to right click and create a folder called extensions. I'm going to create a folder called extensions because you could have more than one extension. Inside this folder, create a class called web host extensions. So I'm going to, inside this folder called extensions, I'm going to create a new class called web host extensions. All right. So this web host extension, we have a method called initialize. Let me give us a second. I think I missed out something. So permit me at this time to go back to my GitHub and go back here, go to extensions and go to web host extensions and just go down. Okay, so it's okay. I didn't miss anything. So I'm going to copy the content of this and just put it right there. Oh, sorry. So I'm going to copy the initialize methods and put it inside the class. So what we are saying is that when the database starts up, an initialize is going to run and perform some initialization, which involves running the create scripts migration. So let's just put these here. Let's come here. Okay, so it should be a static class, public static. All right, so these are extension class. What's happening here? When this application starts up, then it's going to run this initialize and it's going to migrate the database. Well, what we are going to do now to see how it works, I'm going to delete all the tables in the database, okay? And we are going to start up this application and see that when the application starts up, it's going to run this initialize and generate the tables by doing context database.migrate, which is loosely equivalent to saying update database, which you run on the command line or on the package manager console. So let's go back to the steps. Now open your program.cs and adjust the main method like this. Alright, so I'm going to let me just save everything first. I'm going to the main method in the program, and I'm going to adjust the main method to simply attach the web host to run when the class starts up. So I'm going to simply copy this and use it in the main method. So I'm going to just put it right here. Okay, so we now have host is equal to create host builder.build, and then we do initialize.run. So at this point, it's going to run the extension methods. Now, before we talk about, now you can run the program, everything looks fine. Now delete the database and remove the connection, run the application again, and you'll notice that the database is created again with all the tables. Let's do this experiment. It seems it's going to be very interesting. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to delete this database. Yes, I want to delete this database. We want to just check that when the application starts up, the database is going to be created for us. So I'm going to come here and remove this connection. So for now, there is no database, there is nothing. We want the application to create this database for us. So let's see, let's just go back to the steps. Everything is fine, okay. So I'm going to run this application and let's see if it actually creates the database for us, because we've added the Webhost extension. So I'm going to simply click on this button to run the application. Alright, the application starts up and you can see right here, and now what we want to check is whether the databases were created. The first thing I want to show you is that if you look at the data folder, you can see that we have the database file has been created because we deleted it, remember? And now if I go to Server Explorer and sorry, just give me 1 second. So if I go back to Server Explorer, I can simply add back the connection. So I'm going to browse this time to where I have the connection. Yeah, I'm going to say OK and say close. And now I have the connection back and I'm going to check. You can see the tables have been created for us as well. So this is simply how to use Webhost extensions. So I'm going to stop here, and in the next part we are now going to be talking about CDAS. CDAS is simply an initial data you need to add to your database. I remain kind on the Tech Pro. Remember, subscribe to my channel and feel free to leave me a comment if this has been informative for you, and I'm always there for you.